Finally, we're here. The end of the original trilogy. Let's play Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Trials and Tribulations. Hello, everybody. Welcome to this game right here. Let's go. And this does make sound. Okay, just 1, 2, 1, 2. Just had to get that syncing out the way. And yes, I am playing this on Wii, Wii menu on my Wii U, because it's kind of the only version I have. So, no HD filters for this, which is going to be a shame, but hey, it's a visual novel, and it still looks amazing, so, no harm, no foul. Anyway, no wasting time here. We're going to get right into it with Turnabout Memories. Huff. Arg. How'd I get into this mess? Why? Why did I do that? That girl. You shouldn't see her anymore. Hey, it's none of your business. I'm telling you for your sake. If you continue to see her, it's going to be bad news. You're lying! Just listen to me. There's something you need to know about that girl. Stop it! Don't talk about her like that! Huh? It wasn't me. I didn't do it. What the hell are you wearing, Nick? 5 years earlier. Oh, Mia Fey, second trial. Oh, this was how he met Mia. Alright. I guess they gotta do the tutorial somehow, and they already did Amnesia and Phoenix's first trial on his own, so hey, let's go this route. Why not? Phew, it's finally time. I'm kind of nervous. Oh, Mr. Grossberg. Good morning.
Ah, Mia, please calm yourself down. You're going to get yourself arrested for suspicious behavior, you know.
What are you talking about? I'm relaxed, Mr. Grossberg. Look at me. I'm relaxed.
Humph. Let go of my lapels. Humph. You obviously haven't got the temperament to be a lawyer.
I'm so sorry. It's just that I'm so nervous today.
Oh, that's right. It's your first time in the big leagues, isn't it? Well, never you fear, my dear. I'm Muffin Grossberg, and I'm at your service.
Actually, this is my second time in court.
Still, you surprised me. What was your earnest request last night? Let me handle this case. You certainly said, and quite forcefully, too.
I just found out yesterday. About the case, I mean.
What? You already learned all the relevant facts?
Well, about that. You see, of course I have. I think.
Oh dear. In any case, don't let our client see you're so nervous. See the poor young man in the pink sweater over there? That's our client.
You look so lame. Good morning there, everybody. Good morning. Try to keep smiling, Mia. I just want to say, I'll give it all I've got. Yep, it'll be fine. No prob. Achoo. Achoo. Oh, what's wrong? Do you have a cold or something, Mr. Wright? Actually, it's Wright. Like the Flying Brothers. People screw it up all the time. And yes, I have a cold. That's why this mask is for. The doc says this way I won't give it to anyone else. Be kind to others, he says. Right, Mr. Wright. You have nothing to fear in court today. If you are truly innocent, I promise I will save you. Please, let go of my shirt. That's right. He's the one on trial, not you. He's the one who should be nervous. You need to stay strong for your client, Mia. My name is Mia Fey. I'm still pretty new at this lawyer thing. First time I appeared in court was a year ago. Damn. It's a year between your first and second trials? Okay. But that trial traumatized me so badly, I thought I'd never set foot in another courtroom. It's been 1 year since then, and, well, here I am again. But this time I'll win. For my client, and for myself. Also, unrelated to anything, I caught hell trying to get this to start up for me, like the Wii menu on my Wii U. I never had that problem before, where I went to the Wii menu and everything was green. I've never encountered that. And I'm pretty sure I went to the Wii menu with HDMI when I first got my Wii U. But I had to use Component to actually record with my capture card at the time. But yeah, I went to... It has to be something with the TV, because I've been seeing people say, like, oh, different brands of TVs have this issue. And for what it's worth, the TV I had before didn't have that issue. But this one does. Anyway, none of this is relevant to this fucking LP. Just if you have any idea what might cause the, like, green tint on everything on the Wii menu, let me know, because that's kind of weird, and I would like to be able to stream and or record Wii stuff that I have. Alright, anyway. Now that's out the way. Court is now in session for the trial of Phoenix Wright. The defense is ready, Your Honor. I miss Mia. Oh great, here's this guy. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor.
The defense today is Miss Mia Fey, was it?
Yes, Your Honor. Is there a problem?
I was under the impression that Marvin Grossberg was to be leading the defense.
Yes, well, you see, Mr. Grossberg had a bit of an emergency.
Emergency? But isn't that him standing there right next to you?
Yes, well...
You're just a rookie. Are you sure you can really handle this?
Don't let him scare you, Mia. Give him your toughest look. Oh yeah, that is tough. Of course, Your Honor. I think.
Well, Mr. Payne, your opening statement, please.
Well. I can't believe a veteran like me has to spend his time babysitting a new defense lawyer. Don't worry, little girl. It will all be over soon.
Oh, this was before you lost your hair, huh? You got a little pompadour going? I see you there, Payne. What was that all about? Was he trying to trash talk me? You're way hotter than him. Don't let him get to you.
Now then, I'd like to proceed with a summary of events on the day in question. The incident occurred on the campus of Ivy University.
Ivy University, like Ivy League, okay. The murder victim was a student. Oh man, I'm 8 years old. The murder victim was a student named Doug. I'm not hype, like I'm not putting on an act for like the recording. I honestly cannot say this with a straight face. Doug Swallow.
He was a 4th year student studying pharmacology.
It sounds like he was a very bright young man.
Yes, well, next we have a photo taken at the scene of the crime.
Oh yeah, he did.
Students discovered the scene shortly after the murder. They found the victim's body. And the defendant, who had obviously bungled his getaway. Then they called the police.
It certainly makes the defendant look very suspicious indeed. Very well. The court accepts this photo into the record as evidence.
Crime photo 1 added to the court record.
By the way, I can't quite tell the cause of death from this photo.
He. Your reputation for
I've never figured out how to pronounce that word. Weird lore about myself. I do remember seeing that in like an old Thomas the Tank Engine book, but I never learned how to pronounce it. This is just the recording of a whole bunch of non sequiturs and random lore about myself, huh? Well, whatever. Your reputation for sagacity is well earned, Your Honor. The truth is that this victim died a rather unusual death. An unusual death?
What do you mean, Mr. Payne?
Well, perhaps the defense would like to take this question.
Huh?
A simple question. I thought I might loosen you up a bit. I am a genteel man, if you will.
This is my attempt at doing a droopy voice, which is awful. But he does look like he would have a droopy voice.
Oh no.
Alright. A what? Stand up to him, Mia. Show him what you're made of.
Well, what was it? The cause? Go on. Please say you know at least this much.
I'm so sorry. I didn't get a chance to read through the whole file.
My hemorrhoids are beginning to act up. Now, see here. The details of the case are filed in the court record. But you knew that already, didn't you?
Ah, the court record. I think I can see that by pressing the plus button. Alright, date and time of death, April 9th at 3 p.m. Cause of death was a fatal electric shock. Huh, wow, okay then. Crime took place behind IVU building. Okay. Proof of my profession, hell yeah. And might as well check the profiles. We got Grossberg, Phoenix when he was only 21, third year. He was an art student? Ew? Okay. So, I guess then he was like, oh, wait a minute, I want to make money. And then he became a lawyer. Doug Swallow, 22, fourth year college student at Ivy University. Okay. Dahlia Hawthorne, age 20. Damn. Alright, Phoenix. You were doing well for yourself. Dated the victim Doug Swallow up until 8 months ago. How did he end up single? Well, I guess we're about to find out. And then this jerk face McFace jerk. Prosecutor, veteran lawyer with a little too much confidence. I take it we knocked him down a peg or two in this game.
All weapons we need can be found in the court record. Take a good hard look at the data and think carefully before you answer, Madare.
Yes, sir. I'll do just that. I've got to stay calm. Can't let that prosecutor get the better of me. The court record. Okay, let's take a look. I just have to press the plus button here. I already did.
Now then, with the attorney for the...
Oh, wait. That's not Grossberg. Ahem.
Now then, would the attorney for the defense please answer the question? What was the cause of death?
Electrocution. Hell yeah. According to the court record, it was a fatal electric shock. In other words, electrocution.
Electrocution? How could such a thing happen? Did the murderer use some type of new super powerful stun gun, perhaps?
This ain't sci-fi filter, my dude.
The answer to that will become crystal clear as this trial proceeds, Your Honor. But before that, there's one more vital issue.
What's that?
Why, motive, of course. Apparently, there was some bad blood between the victim and the defendant.
Bad blood?
What do you mean?
Oopsie, I'm terribly sorry. You're the defense attorney, so you must know all about it. I shouldn't be stealing your spotlight like this.
I really don't like this guy's smug attitude.
That's Winston Payne for you. He's one smooth operator if you catch my drift.
Smooth? Okay.
They don't call him no rookie killer for nothing, you know. Now then, let's hear from the defense. What was the source of the bad blood between the victim and the defendant? And this time, I would like to see some supporting evidence.
Evidence?
No need to get all worked up over there. I said all weapons can be found in the court record. Find the evidence you need and shove it into old Graybeard's face.
Yes, sir. Into old Graybeard's face.
Mr. Grossberg, try to set a better example for the young lady. Mia, evidence isn't the only thing in the court record, but profiles are as well.
Yeah, these played no role in the first game, but they actually did in the second game, and that was a nice little change of pace.
Use the plus button to toggle between profiles and evidence and make sure to go over all.
Now then, let's see what you've got. It was the cause of the bad blood between Phoenix Wright and the victim. I mean, yes, I know I can do that, but I'd rather not. Okay. So, be to do, bap, 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 bap. There we go. Oh, her voice clipped. It makes me sad that she's dead. The reason for the bad blood between the two of them was this woman here. Well, I can't wait to hear her say objection. Dahlia Hawthorne, is it? Very good, Miss Fey. You seem to have picked up on at least this much. This woman is the girlfriend of the defendant, Phoenix Wright. But up until about 8 months ago, she was with the victim, Mr. Swallow. Clearly, she has some part to play in this story.
He's done it again. For cross-examination stars, he's already got the judge thinking like he wants.
Very well, Mr. Payne. Please call your first witness.
If it pleases the court, the prosecution would like to call Mr. Phoenix Wright.
What? The defendant himself? Well, Miss Fey? It's fine. After all, Mr. Wright is innocent. Right? The defense has no objection. Very well. The court calls Mr. Phoenix Wright to the witness stand.
Witness, please state your name and occupation.
Oh, yes. My name is Phoenix Wright. My job is, well, right now I guess I'm a suspect. No, he means what did you do before you were arrested?
Oh, I was a university student. Mr. Wright, you understand that you are suspected in the death of your fellow student Doug Swat.
But, I didn't do it. I'm innocent, I tell you. I'm telling you I was, cough. Would this defendant please refrain from passing on his cold to the rest of us?
It seems the witness has something he wants to say.
Well then, Mr. Wright, please tell us about your relation to the victim.
Right away, Your Honor.
The victim and I admit I was there. But I'm not a killer. All I did was find his body. I hardly knew the guy to begin with. I never even talked to that stuck-up British wannabe. How are you a wannabe British? You're either British or you're not. I see. So you hardly knew the victim. Right. Like I said, I'm not a killer. Phew. Looks like the judge understands.
You're being naive, you know. Too naive.
Huh?
It seems that you've forgotten one small thing, young lady.
And that would be?
The witness still has to undergo something called cross-examination.
But he's my client. Why would I have to cross-examine my own fucking client? Which has been... No, has that ever been a thing? I mean, it was for the final trial in the second game, but generally speaking, you don't cross-examine your client. Oh, wait, no. I think you did have to talk to Larry. No, you didn't have to talk to Larry in the first trial. You questioned him in the second one in the first game. But putting way too much thought into this. Cross-examination.
He's right. It's the defense's duty to carry out the cross-examination. Purpose is to determine if a witness's testimony contains any contradiction.
Contradictions?
If a witness is lying, their statements will conflict with the court record. But Mr. Wright is
but Mr. Wright is my client.
Even if he is your client, in court all lies must be struck down. As a lawyer, that's your duty. See.
I mean, it didn't apply to, Edgeworth and the Von Karmas, but okay, fine. What does he mean by that? Is he saying that testimony just now? There was a lie? A contradiction? Now then, your cross-examination, if you please, Miss Fey. Please, Mr. Wright, tell me you haven't been lying. You wouldn't do that to me, would you? Alright, so we're just gonna do what we always do in a Phoenix Wright game and press on literally everything. When you say there, you mean the place where the victim was murdered? Yeah, sort of. The place where something happened anyway. His objection. Something? You can't hide what happened. We have photographic evidence. Achoo. Achoo, achoo, achoo. Anyway, Mr. Wright, what were you doing at the scene of the crime? I thought you said you didn't know the victim, Mr. Swallow. It was just a coincidence. We bumped into each other by accident.
Coincidence, huh?
Not a killer. All I did was find his body. You say you found the body, so who called the police? Huh? Achoo, cough, achoo. Cough, achoo, cough. Unfortunately, it was some other students that notified the police.
Other students?
That's correct. They were witnesses. Witnesses who saw the defendant standing there next to the body in shock.
I mean, if you had that other picture, why didn't you present it to the court record? Just saying.
What? Is this true, Mr. Wright?
Achoo, 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 achoo. Could you stop sneezing every time you're in a bind? Well, it's true that I was pretty shocked when I found the body. But I hardly knew the guy to begin with. So you didn't know his face or even his name, right? Right. Well, no. That is, I mean... So, which is it? Did you know him or not? Achoo. Achoo, achoo.
Now see here, you can't avoid answering the question by sneezing all day.
Well, I guess I did know his name. News to me. Why didn't he tell me that before?
I heard he used to date Dolly.
Who is this Dolly person?
Yes, that would be the defendant's lover, Miss Dahlia Hawthorne.
Oh, I see. Ah, young love. So bittersweet.
But that's all I knew about him. Never even talked to that stuck-up British wannabe. But how'd you know he was a British wannabe? Mr. Wright, you stated the following in your testimony. I hardly knew the guy to begin with. That's right. I mean, why would I even... But that doesn't sound right. If you hardly knew him, then why would you say that the victim was a stuck-up British wannabe? Achoo. Well, Mr. Wright? No, it wasn't me. I'm not a killer. I swear.
Mr. Wright, I will give you an opportunity to revise your testimony. How is it that you knew the victim was, as you put it, a British wannabe?
Yes, well... He was always walking around with a huge Union Jack on the back of his shirt. I mean, that doesn't mean you're a wannabe British person, but okay. Did you see it at the crime scene? The Union Jack, I mean? Yes, that's right. I saw it at the crime scene. That's why I figured he must love British stuff, see? It's true, cross my heart. I swear I didn't do it. He's acting fishier than the salmon I ate last night.
May I ask you something, Miss Fey?
Yes, Your Honor? What is it now?
Who is this person anyway? This Union Jack fellow?
The Union Jack is the name of the United Kingdom's flag.
Oh, I see. So you mean like the Stars and Stripes, right?
As usual, Your Honor. Your insight astounds me. Hey, something just occurred to me. Isn't there something strange about this bit just now?
Mia? Where's the contradiction now?
Mr. Grossberg.
Quickly now, show that boy you mean business with other man.
Oh, okay, Mia. Check the court record carefully.
Well, my dear, you think you can manage on your own from this point?
Yeah, I can handle it myself. I don't need your fucking help. 1 year ago, I was in a courtroom just like this. I can do it. I can handle this myself.
You mustn't try to bite off more than you can chew, Mia.
I'll be fine. I know what I have to do.
Remember, you can always press him to get more information. Oh, one more thing. We are going to state a contradiction. Make sure you present some definitive proof.
Okay, Mia, one more time, from the very beginning of his testimony. Alright, so yeah, we're going to go ahead and go through all this. There we go. So, I don't see a Union Jack on the back of this. From this angle, at least. Oh, wait. His shirt, but he's wearing a jacket. Yeah. Are you certain you saw the Union Jack? Yeah, I'm sure. It was right there on his back.
Miss Fey, is there some point to this line of questioning?
Your Honor, please take another look at the crime scene photo. As you can see, there's absolutely nothing written on the victim's back. Hey, wait a minute! He's wearing a leather jacket! Union Jack was on the back of the t-shirt he was wearing. I was under the impression that you accidentally came across the body. But if that was really the case, then you wouldn't know that, would you? You'd have no idea at all what he was wearing underneath that jacket. Mr. Wright, you've been lying to me. Please forgive me.
Mia, you made our client cry.
Well, you told me to, like, uncover his lies. I mean, we could have avoided this. Let him. That P on his chest doesn't stand for Phoenix anyways. What does it stand for? Perjury? I can't believe I trusted him. Mr. Wright was all wrong. That was an impressive bit of cross-examination. Thank you for uncovering your defendant's lies for me. It's quite clear this man did not simply stumble upon the scene of the crime. Ugh. Uh-oh. Did I go too far? By the way, Mr. Wright, you seem to have a rather bad cold. Have you taken any medicine for it? Yeah, I took some, but... What's the medicine that you took an over-the-counter brand? Called Cold Killer X? Yeah, that's right. It kills colds good. Apparently not. Hey, wait a second. How'd you know I'm a big fan of Cold Killer X? Would you happen to have that medicine with you right now? Well, actually, I seem to have lost it somewhere. He lost it? Does this even have anything to do with the case? Mr. Wright, shall I tell you where your cold medicine is right now? Huh? Your Honor, I'd like you to take a look at another photo from the crime scene.
What's this? In the victim's hand, it's Cold Killer X.
Why are you objecting to this? Yes, but even I've got a bottle of Cold Killer X in my apartment. I'm sorry, but I'm afraid that argument won't work. There's no doubt as to who this bottle of Cold Killer X belonged to. Especially since Mr. Wright's fingerprints were all over it. Did they really need the jiggle physics? Okay. Alright. I ain't complaining, I guess. Sensing his murderous intent, Mr. Swallow must have picked up the bottle of medicine, dropped by Mr. Wright, and had it in his hand. His purpose in doing so can only have been to identify his killer as Phoenix Wright. No, that might not be his purpose in doing so. There are many other reasons why, but okay. We'll just go with that. Order in the court. Your Honor, I'd like to present this photo and bottle as evidence.
Very well. The court will accept them into the record.
Crime photo 2 added to the court record. Cold Killer X added to the court record. Also, the victim's wristwatch was broken.
Broken?
Yes. It ceased functioning when a large wave of electricity passed through it. Well, Mr. Wright, do you have some kind of explanation for all of this? This is really bad.
Oh, my buttocks. My poor hemorrhoids.
We did not need that, but okay. The truth is, I went because he called me. He was in the pharmacology department, so we agreed to meet at 2:45 behind that building. We talked for a bit, and then around 3 we split up. Then later when I went back, I found him lying there. I've been taking Cold Killer X for the last 2 or 3 days, but I lost my bottle of it around lunchtime on the day of the accident.
Mr. Wright, that's completely different than the testimony you gave previously.
Achoo. I'm sorry, Your Honor. I was afraid you wouldn't believe the truth. You'll forgive me if I say I hardly find your current testimony any more credible.
Miss Fey, please begin your cross-examination.
Oh, please, Mr. Wright, don't tell any more lies. Alright. When in doubt, press on everything. Had you ever met the victim before then? No, never. But that day he called me up and told me he wanted to talk about Dolly.
And this Dolly person is...
It's kind of embarrassing. She's my, sweetheart.
What? What was that for, Mia?
Oh, I'm so sorry. I just felt like slapping something all of a sudden. Dahlia Hawthorne was also the lover of the murder victim Doug Swallow. Before she met Mr. Wright, that is.
So it was one of those nasty love triangles. I see.
The pharmacology department. Okay. It's late when I'm recording this, alright? Cut me some slack. Wait a minute. Just want to make sure of something. That ain't 2:45. Just saying. Was it Mr. Swallow who indicated you should meet at 2:45? Yeah, and we were both there right on time.
You said the victim was in the pharmacology department, correct?
Yeah, he was studying how to manufacture and improve pharmaceuticals. Everyone called him the alchemist of IVU.
An alchemist? I see.
I gotta admit, it was a little suspicious. He had a whole laboratory and everything. It was filled with chemicals and strange machines that run on high voltage electricity.
Oh, how fascinating. Sounds like he was quite an ambitious young man.
What do I do? Maybe I should ask him for some more details. Ask him about the timing of the meeting. So you're absolutely certain that you met at 2:45? Yeah, pretty sure. That's the time class ends. But they're always doing apartments, so it doesn't matter much. Experiments? Yeah, those pharmacology guys are always in the lab whipping up something. Well, it looks like he's right about the time anyway. Witness, let's go on with your testimony. Well, there's 2 more lines of questioning here. Let's go. Okay, that didn't take long. Oh, well, just 1 more line of questioning. About the pharmacology department. I was wondering if you could tell us a bit more about the pharmacology department. Well, okay, sure. I don't know all that much, though. A little bit earlier in your testimony, you said something interesting. You said the department uses strange machines that run on high voltage electricity. That's right, and they sure look dangerous. They use non-standard voltages, so there are high voltage cables everywhere. High voltage cables? Yeah, there were electrical poles set up all around the building. The high voltage cables run overhead around the roof. Finally, I think we're getting somewhere. We are? So what was it you were talking about? You know, chew, cough. That maybe we should hang out again sometime. What? Hang out again sometime? I wish that were true. Alright. So you say you went back. Yeah, that's when I found the body. Yes, but why did you go back in the first place? Weren't you angry with them? Well, that's right, I was. Then why, Mr. Wright? Why did you go back there? Thought maybe we could make up. Achoo, achoo! Judging by the atmosphere, I'm pretty sure no one is buying this. You don't say. Yeah, let's talk about cold medicine. Why not? Talk about that Robitussin. It's rather unusual to catch a cold this time of the year, isn't it? Clearly you've never met me. Yeah, I always get a little careless when the weather starts to warm up. I guess I shouldn't sleep with the window open this early in spring, huh? I suppose common sense is not always common. So, did anyone else know that you were taking cold medicine? Well, I always took one after meals, so I'm pretty sure all my friends knew about it. On the day of the incident, what did you do for lunch? Why is this important? Huh? What does that have to do with anything? You can never be too sure. I always eat with Dolly. Just the two of us. We can make it if we try. Dolly's homemade lunches are just the greatest. Her mini omelets are magically delicious.
Youch! Why did you punch me in the jaw?
Oh, I'm so sorry. I just felt like hurting someone all of a sudden.
I think that's enough for now. So the defendant and the victim met at approximately the time of his death. And then the defendant returned to the scene for some unknown reason.
I'm not entirely convinced by his explanation about the medicine bottle either.
Let me be frank here, Mr. Wright. Your testimony cannot be trusted.
What do you mean? I knew it was too much work for a little girl.
However, there is one mystery that still remains.
There is, Your Honor?
How the murder was carried out, of course.
Yeah, that is kind of important.
Just how was the victim electrocuted? I don't believe the murder weapon has been produced yet, correct?
Well, that is... You are correct, Your Honor. So how exactly was Mr. Swallow killed? If I could somehow establish how it was done, maybe I could still come out of this mess smelling like a rose. Let's establish that murder record. Because I have a feeling I know how. A live wire. Your Honor.
Yes, Miss Fey?
I believe that if we were to piece everything together we've heard up until now, we should be able to solve the mystery of how Mr. Swallow died.
That would be most impressive.
Quite the brash statement coming from a rookie. But even a beginner like you must understand the basic rules of the court, yes? An attorney must be able to substantiate their arguments with evidence. Of course I know that. Actually, I totally forgotten about that. How do you forget that as a lawyer you need evidence? What?
Now then, Miss Fey, let me see what you've got. Show me how you believe the victim was electrocuted.
I mean, it's simple right here. As for the cause of death, I'd say this picture captures it quite well.
What? But there is nothing that even remotely resembles a murder weapon here. I'm afraid that the defense is going to have to explain this in a bit more detail. Mia Fey, where exactly...
Oh, okay, well they made that tiny, but am I even over it? Guess I was. Well, naturally, it's right here.
That's... What is it, a taxi?
A severed electrical cable, I believe, Your Honor.
Did I read that correctly? I don't know. I'm kind of at that, like, moment of fatigue where I think I'm misreading stuff and I have no cognitive ability and I will probably fall asleep in the next 20 minutes. Need to hurry up and get to a checkpoint because it is not looking good for me right now.
Remember the testimony we've heard. The machines the pharmacology students use in their experiments require high voltage. And because of that, there are special high voltage cables strung up everywhere.
So then the high voltage cable...
Yes, the high voltage cable is the cause of the death. That is the most likely explanation.
That certainly sounds plausible. Well, Mr. Payne, what do you have to say about this?
Well, I believe some praise is in order. Don't toy with me, old man. Now, the victim's cause of death may indeed have been a high voltage cable. However, if you want to think about what that really implies, the only one who had any opportunity to use the cable as a murder weapon was... the defendant.
Achoo. How though? That much is certainly true.
Yes, and that's not all. We have proof. Irrefutable proof that will establish that Mr. Wright was the murderer.
You do? Well, what is it?
His fingerprints.
Fingerprints? You mean that the defendant's fingerprints were on something besides the medicine bottle?
Let's take another look at the crime scene photo. As you can see, the victim is wearing a leather jacket. And as you may know, leather holds fingerprints quite well. You mean... Yes, it was quite clearly imprinted on the chest area of the victim's jacket. The palm print of the defendant's very own hand.
What?
I can only think of one way Mr. Wright could have left a print like that. Intent on murder, he squarely pushed the victim towards the severed electrical cable.
Order, that's enough. I think we can conclude that there is no reason to continue with the cross-examination. Sick of fucking us, we're done.
Mr. Grossberg.
My hemorrhoids never lie. So it's over, Mia. I knew that boy was guilty the first time I saw him.
No, you're wrong. Mr. Wright is innocent.
No further evidence is required to convince me of this man's guilt.
Your Honor.
At this time, I am prepared to render a verdict in this case. Do you have something further to add, Miss Fey?
Is this what you want, Mr. Wright? You still haven't told us the truth. The whole truth. If you don't say something now, the judge is going to hand down his verdict.
But I can't say it.
If I told you what really happened, then I'd be... It's okay, Mr. Wright. I'm your attorney. You can trust me.
Miss Fey.
No matter what it is you have to say, I believe in you and I'll represent you to the very end. We've already established the defendant's guilt. There's no further need for him to say anything. Cough, cough. Wait a minute. Mr. Wright. I'll tell you what really happened. But I've already told you, Mr. Wright. There's no need for further. I did it. What? I admit it. I pushed him. It's my fault. My fault that Doug Swallow was dead. That girl, you shouldn't see her anymore. Hey, it's none of your business. I'm telling you, for your sake, if you continue to see her, it's going to be bad news. You're lying. Just listen to me. There is something you need to know about that girl. Stop it. Don't talk about her like that.
Why is he sweating, though? What you just said, was that the truth?
Yes, I was afraid. Afraid that if I told the truth, everyone would think I was the murderer for sure.
Well, as things currently stand, we're all absolutely convinced you are.
Please. Please give me one more chance to explain. This time I swear I'll tell the whole truth. It'll be okay, won't it, Miss Fey? I believe in you. Oh, thank you. I still can't believe it. You really did push the victim.
It feels like my hemorrhoids are doing a Harlem Shake.
What? Okay. Alright, okay. Alright. When I pushed the victim, that guy, he was talking bad about Dolly. I lost my temper and gave him a shove. At that moment, I heard some kind of loud noise. A little while after I left, I started to get worried. So I went back, but he was just laying there, dead. Well, the explanation is really quite simple. When you pushed him, Mr. Swallow flew back and touched the electrical cable. He died from the shock. And that, as they say, is that.
A simple explanation indeed.
At the time of the incident, a light rain had been falling. Wet from the rain, the victim was more easily electrocuted. But when I pushed him, there weren't any electrical cables nearby. If there had been something like that, even I would have noticed it. It's true. Even a doofus like him wouldn't miss that.
Miss Fey? Let me warn you right now that if your cross-examination doesn't yield any new facts, I intend to deliver my verdict without further delay. Are we clear on that?
Yes, Your Honor. Don't give up, Mia. If he is innocent, there must be some kind of evidence somewhere that will prove it.
Let's roll out.
Oh, crap. Was trying to speed up the text there. So what kinds of things did Mr. Swallow say to you? He said all sorts of terrible things about Dolly. He said she was a bad girl.
Is that all?
Yep. Okay.
Well, Miss Fey, you heard him yourself.
Oh boy, you're not doing yourself any favors here, Mr. Wright. Please don't make this harder for me than it already is. Anyway, after he said that, I just... You're a punk. Can you tell me about what happened in a little more detail? That guy, he just said what he wanted to say to me. And then he put on the jacket he was holding and started to leave. That's when I lost my temper and flew into a furious frenzy. I just gave him a light, gentle shove to the chest. And when you did that, there was no severed cable anywhere to be seen. Right, there was nothing like that at all. But is it possible that you merely overlooked it? Well, I guess it's possible. What are you doing? Don't let that guy steamroll over you like cheap asphalt.
I believe what's important here is the moment the push occurred. Let's continue on with the testimony, witness.
Okay, heard some kind of loud noise. A loud noise? And what would you say that loud noise was, Mr. Wright? I'm not sure, but it was really loud. It was like, snap. You know, come to think of it, I wonder what that was. Clearly, Your Honor, it was the sound of the victim being electrocuted. You're not qualified to decide that. What should I do? I'm treading on some dangerous ground here. Ask for more details. Mr. Wright, that loud noise you heard may be extremely important. So try to remember what it was. How do I put it? It was like a sharp crack. Ah, could it have been? Yes, could it have been? Hurry up and tell us. When I pushed him, he dropped the umbrella he was holding. He fell right on top of it and it broke. That was probably the noise I heard. An umbrella? Huh. And did that umbrella belong to the victim? Yeah, it was a plastic umbrella, cheap and frail, kind of like the owner. Oh, snap. Then again, I wish I had any kind of umbrella. I was totally soaked to the bone. Miss Fey. Did he get the cold because of the rain? And he didn't have a cold at the scene of the crime? What do you think? Is there something important in that testimony just now? Well, of course it's important. This is it, Mia. The new information you've been waiting for. Of course it's important. No, this cheap umbrella is more than important. It's vital. I'm going to officially have it entered into the testimony. Ha, how perfectly fitting. Flimsy information for a flimsy lawyer. Court agrees to the defense's request. Witness, please add the bit about the cheap umbrella to your testimony. After I shoved him, he fell down on top of his cheap umbrella. So, Mr. Swallow fell on top of his umbrella. And you are certain of this? Yeah, it was right there under him. Actually, if it hadn't been under him, I was planning on borrowing it for myself. The umbrella, you mean? Well, yeah. You see, I was wearing this sweater here. Dolly stayed up late for nights at a time knitting it for me. I didn't want the rain to dampen the handmade symbol of her love.
Oomph! My stomach is not to be used as your personal soccer ball, me.
I'm so sorry.
Continue on with your testimony, witness.
Well, after I left, I started to get worried. After you shoved the victim, did you leave the scene right away? Yes, I did. I admit it. I was furious. You left without even checking Mr. Swallow's condition. Well, yeah. But like I said, I got worried about him later. Went back. He was just laying there. Dead. At that time, did you see anyone else at the scene of the crime? Cough, cough. Cough, cough, cough. He did. Nope, nobody. Jeez, could that stupid cough possibly sound any phonier?
In that case, it's very hard to believe someone else could have been the murderer. Unless we can find something that shows his innocence from that testimony, but there. Afraid the judge will make his final decision with no remorse whatsoever.
Yes, sir. Right now I need more info. Info that will help me turn up some contradictions. Okay. Gave him a shove. Fell down on his cheap umbrella. Need to think this through. He's lying. He said he was wearing this sweater here. Oh wait, but no, I don't have... No, Phoenix himself isn't in the picture. Dang, okay. Never mind. Wait a minute. There's no umbrella in sight. Why didn't you testify about the umbrella from the very beginning? Come on, if I had mentioned that, I would have been able to counter the prosecution's arguments earlier. Well, what do you mean by that? take another look at the crime scene photo. According to Mr. Wright, the victim fell on top of his umbrella. However, if you look closely, the umbrella is nowhere near the victim. Actually, it's by the electrical pole. Oh yeah, that. I'm not gonna lie. I thought that was like a lotus flower or something. Holy shit, that is actually an umbrella. Okay. I really thought that was like a flower. Okay. You're absolutely right. The conclusion here is obvious. After the defendant left, the victim moved from where he fell. In other words, after he was pushed by the defendant, Mr. Swallow was still alive. Order! 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 The victim! He moved? Mr. Payne, the umbrella in this photo, where is it now?
Well, it was collected by the police at the crime scene.
I want it presented as evidence immediately. Alright, well we got an umbrella.
But the umbrella could have simply been blown there by the wind.
But if he landed on top of it, owned by the victim found broken near the electrical pole at the crime scene. Okay then. According to the testimony, the victim fell on top of the umbrella. There is simply no way it could have blown there by the wind.
But
I know this matter of the umbrella seems relatively trivial, but as long as the smallest doubt remains, I cannot render final judgment.
No!
However, I still find it hard to believe that a huge hole has been blown in the prosecution's case by the defendant's testimony. Okay, we're just adding testimony then. Well done, Mia. I guess. If it fell on top of his umbrella, it was a loud sound when this happened. Mr. Payne, what are you chuckling about?
Pardon me, Your Honor. It seems I was expecting too much of a free ride. It was foolish to think I could establish guilt through cross-examination alone.
I'm afraid I don't follow what you're saying.
Let me guess.
You have another witness.
Exactly. And this witness testimony will be incontrovertible.
Well, who is this witness?
Miss Dahlia Hawthorne.
Dahlia Hawthorne? You don't mean Dolly?
I do, Your Honor. The defendant's very own lover is a witness to the whole thing. That's right. She was at the scene of the crime when the murder took place.
What?
I'm sorry to break the bad news to you, my dear.
Bad news? You couldn't be more wrong. Actually, I've been waiting for this.
You can't be serious.
Mia, what do you mean by that?
I think this is a good point for us to stop at. Court will now enter a 20-minute recess. Afterwards, we will listen to the testimony of Miss Dahlia Hawthorne. Something doesn't seem right here. Miss Fey, I'm sorry about what happened back there. It's alright. At least you told us the truth in the end, Mr. Wright. Yeah. So I guess I can start to relax then, huh?
Relax, my boy. You can't be serious. We're hiding such important facts.
But the next witness is my Dolly, right?
She'll save me. I just know she will. Why do you think that? Huh? What do you mean? She's the love of my life, that's why. The love of your life? Huh. Would you mind telling me more about you and Miss Dahlia Hawthorne? Sure, no problem. Dahlia and I, we first met about 8 months ago, right here in this very courthouse. How? Actually, I'm studying to be a lawyer. On the side, anyway. How are you become a lawyer on the side? One day she and I just bumped to each other in the reading room downstairs. That's why I really think it was fate that brought us together. As soon as I first set eyes on her, I knew she was the one for me. Oh, here, take a look at this. She gave this to me the day we met as a symbol of our love. Damn, the day y'all met? She had been wearing it around her neck that day, but then she took it off. Before she gave it to me, she said, I want you to carry this.
They gave it to you as a present, I say.
This darling little bottle is filled with memories of my darling little dolly. It certainly is a little bottle, all right. It makes me so happy. I show it to everyone I meet. I want to share my happiness with the whole world. Huh. Anyway. So after that, you and Miss Hawthorne started dating? Yeah, but she's so shy. Every time I see her, she always says the same thing to me. Please give it back now.
What a strange girl asking for a present back like that.
By the way, Mr. Wright, the day you first met Dahlia Hawthorne 8 months ago, it wouldn't happen to have been on August 27th, would it? Huh? Yeah, it was. But how did you know? This happened on August 27th, right here in this courthouse. What's this? A newspaper clipping? Let's see. Murder in the courthouse? Murder?
What are you reading now? Let me see that. Oh, I see. Mia, I think I understand what you're trying to say. And I think I understand why you suddenly took such a keen interest in this case. You believe there's some relationship between these two cases, am I correct?
Okay, we're just getting a whole bunch of evidence here. Hope you don't mind, Mr. Grossberg. 8/28, almost 8 months ago. Very little information is being disclosed at this time, since the victim of yesterday's incident in the district courthouse cafeteria is said to have been a lawyer. However, police are questioning the 19-year-old female college student who was sitting with the victim. I need to finish this myself.
Huh? Yes, but I'm afraid what you have will not be enough, my dear. I'll go and have a look at the downstairs reading room and see what I can find.
But thank you.
I want to do whatever I can to be of very help to you, Mia. Well, looks like the recess is about over. Better all get moving.
I guess so. That recess sure seemed longer than 20 minutes, though. Well, that's one weird way to end it, but hey, we got a lot of evidence added to the court record, and things are... Sorry, had a really weird coughing fit there. Yeah, things are heating up. Yeah, I mean, obviously there's not really a lot of intrigue here, since we know that Phoenix Wright is going to get off, because the first 2 games were about him. And, I mean, technically this game is about him too. And I doubt in the 5 years, you know, between this trial and the trial of the first trial of the first game, he was in prison. Not to mention, I think if you're, a convicted felon, they're not going to let you become a lawyer. Just saying. So, yeah, it's a given that he's going to get off, but we just need to figure out who done it. It's probably going to be Dahlia. So, next time, we continue on with Turnabout Memories in Let's Play Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Trials and Tribulations. Goodbye.